Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Houston Texans. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. To throw is Wilson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Check 26, check 26. Alert.
Sony Michel, his first carry. And right away, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he'll be brought down around the 7-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there is no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
They'll try and run forward with Penny. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Second and goal, and Penny standing by himself in the backfield. Now Wilson. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. DJ Reader in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So they're back at the 7 now for 3rd and goal.
Here we go. Hey, switch gears.
Now it's Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Able to knock it through, and the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
Come on, man. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
On 1st and 10, Watson sliding out of the pocket. And he's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. A big-time play there for the Texans. 45 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Flush to his right. And he's going to keep it here. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time.
Switch it. Line them up.
Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They go play action here on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. From the gun, a give to Penny. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. A full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Good shot, baby. That's big.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Penny, a first down carry. Penny hit and the ball is jarred free. And the Texans scoop it. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Everyone got 4. Alert. Let's go, Duke.
On second down, here's Penny. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. DJ Reader has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Wilson. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. J.J. Watt racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
6-man. Check curls, check curls, check curls.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 37 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Jaron Reed able to record his 5th sack of the season. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Here's Watson. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Here we go.
And they will run it with Michel. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Sony Michel with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Wilson to throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Let's go, D, let's go.
Now Watson. And he's going to go down again. Jadeveon Clowney racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Here's Watson. He's going to wind up and air it out. Incomplete. Both players were there offensively and defensively, but it falls incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3.
Operating for the gun, Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, but force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. A little bit of tough. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
After the interception, here's Watson. And a catch made by Hopkins. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
Where's that? 19? 6, right there, 56. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Trying to pound it in here with Michelle. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
I'm here all day. He's coming. He's coming. Double up.
Watson now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
In their mind, certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They had the great starting field position. Now facing 3rd down. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Texans push further out in front. So on 3rd down, they dialed up the draw play. It worked. Got him in the end zone.
As one of our colleagues likes to say, calling the draw, everyone wants to yell all the time when the draw doesn't work. Like, what kind of play call was that? But it takes a little bit of fortitude to do that, and because you may catch them with the element of surprise and hit it. And in this case, they hit it for pay dirt.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Wilson now, operating from the gun. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Bradley Roby, the ex-Buckeye, with a corner blitz and the sack.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Hey, man, watch the boot, watch the boot.
Hey, 24. Hey, alert.
From the gun, here's Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
This is Johnson. He's got it. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Ready? First and goal at the 8-yard line.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Duke Johnson, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans push further out in front. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive linemen.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, they really created great space for the runner to get in.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Kill.
Now Rashad Penny. Bradley Roby, the cornerback, there to make the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest game, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Mike 52. Check.
From the 44, Wilson. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 28. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watch the fly.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Cut. 380.
And watch the leg.
On 3rd down, Wilson. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. Jennings was the one he was looking for. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
He's got a first first down and then some at midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
On first down, it's Watson. Screenplay, Johnson. Boy, that is a 7-yard loss. Second down now.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To the air yet again, Watson. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for first and 10.
Let's get off the field.
Again, it's Watson. Open man is QT, complete. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's second and 4.
Let's go, defense. Here we go.
Hey, 1-7. Check, Mike. 54. 54.
Line up, go.
Watson looks to throw again. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Keelan Cole, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Wilson. He's got his man here as Gary Jennings Jr. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. On first down, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And it's Michel once again. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
2-yard loss on the play. It's 3rd and 11.
Set. 19.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Their own 27-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's a give to Penny. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. 4 down. 4 down.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. From the gun, it's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
The Seahawks, 1st down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 43. To throw is Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson, and he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13. Wilson now, he's hit on just 5 of 15 throws, a poor percentage, but it's 1st and 10. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. J.J. Watt, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog.
Go 14.
Play action. It's Wilson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
It's a party now.
From the gun, Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
On 2nd and 9, Watson eluding the pressure right. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you can take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. J.J. Watt in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Rashad Penny, and it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Pulled in at the 24. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll try to get this offense going with Michel. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Faking the give. Now Watson. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. Third and long.
Check 52.
59.
Out of the gun, Watson completes this to Waring. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A first down and then some, 36 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Check, 154.
First and goal at the 4.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Second and goal from the 1. To throw is Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Jordan Thomas, his third touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it'll bring up third down.
Lady.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
From the shotgun, Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it's knocked away and incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary can really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls as we saw there. They're not giving up anything to him.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
On the set.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mike 54.
Yo, 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 yo.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Brings up third down and 8 yards to go.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Hey, zoom.
54.
Operating from the gun, Campbell. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny, and he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, 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 twist.
Got it.
Here's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Let's get in there. Let's get in there.
Play action. Now Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On the toss, here's Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now Campbell operating from the gun. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A 3rd down gain of 19. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the fourth quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Yeah, baby! Yeah!
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 on the Seahawks 28.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Blue down, blue down. Sponge, sponge, sponge. No, no, no.
Running from the gun, Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he's going to have the hook up to QT. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
91.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got something ready.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 40. This is Homer. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless.
I'm going to hit you.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things.
Williams loses the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
First down, Seattle.
I got it. I got double tight. Double tight. 4 down, 4 down. Check. 4 down, 4 down.
They keep it with Penny on first down. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
At the 18-yard
Let's go,
line.
let's go. Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
One left, one left.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Green 80.
Check pass, check pass.
Double tight, double tight.
Good tight.
Penny. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Penny will try to punch it in. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. 2nd and goal, and Penny standing by himself in the backfield. Now Wilson to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson, and it's caught. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College, not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
I bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
They begin the drive with Williams. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch 54. I got one, I got one.
5.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
A loss of 1. It's now 3rd and 9.
Let's go. 60 outlaw.
Right there, 56. Go. Go.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking.